Yesterday, I fucked around even more with Ranger, and well, yeah, I now completely use it. So, first of all, I'm not going to pop out chat like I usually do. I'm going to open my stream on my phone to see the chat of it. Why? Because generally, chat isn't active enough for this to be worth it. For it to be taking up so much of my screen. If it becomes like very active, I might put it on the screen, but I can read from my phone. Let me show you something. It should be in travel. So first of all, I actually deleted pic in the previous stream. It's now back. And I think, yeah, that was part of the stream, right? So it's back. I still have KS and JS, which uses pic to, well, pick something. But also we have KD, JF, paste Ranger file and paste Ranger directory, which uses Ranger instead to pick files or a directory. And we also have paste relative path that uses pic. So now I have multiple different ways of getting files. So right now where I probably want to go is KD, and now I open Ranger to go to .files, and here I am. It's honestly pretty fast, even with the boot up time, it's very much fine. So yeah. I wonder if I can like open only chat on my phone. Oh, I can, great. Because I see the stream like flicking and doing things, and my brain immediately thinks, oh, maybe this is a message. No, it actually isn't, it's just the stream going on. With just the chat opened, I won't like get distracted as much. Great, so what do I want to do? There is this file called rc.conf, which is one of the configuration files for Ranger. Basically what I want to do is go through it and set all the possible settings that I would want. There are a few already that I found useful, and I actually wasn't supposed to commit them yet, or rather I needed to commit them separately, but I'll mention them. So I want to go through this config file and see what useful things I can change. This file, or actually we can do it the same way that I read while I'm in the browser. This file contains the default startup commands for Ranger. To change them, it is recommended to create either this or this and add your custom commands there. Right, I remember when I left off. I left off at ranger.fish, which creates a setup. First of all, it installs Ranger, copies the config to tilde.config ranger and so on. So we copy that file onto my main file and then make a symlink from it. One thing that I forgot to do is to put a certain thing. Yes, this. If you copy this whole file there, you might want to set the environmental variable Ranger load default RC to false to avoid loading it twice. And this is exactly what we're going to do, but in config.fish, in the same place where we set other exported variables, boop, to false. Okay, so yeah, that was the only thing that I forgot to do. And the cool thing about this is even if I don't have Ranger installed, I can still set that variable. It won't like make an error or something. The purpose of this file, well, the purpose of this file is mainly to define key bindings and settings for running more complex Python code. No, I don't think I will. Each line is a command that will be run before the user interface is initialized. As a result, you cannot use commands which rely on the UI. Fair enough. Okay. The first thing is options. Which view mode should be used? Miller. Use Miller columns, which show multiple levels of the hierarchy. Multi-pane. Midnight Commander-like multi-pane view showing all tabs next to each other. So the default is Miller. I want to check out multi-pane to see like what it's like. The cool thing about setting settings in a separate config file is that every time I run Ranger, it automatically uses the new settings without me having to reload my shell. So this is what it means. I found it useful to have like this setup, which is Miller, by the way. This is the default, because I can immediately tell what folder has what inside of it without necessarily going to it. And I also see the parents, so you can use square brackets to go between parents. I almost fucking showed one of my passwords. I hope I didn't. I hope it didn't load up fast enough. I need to be more careful. Yeah, I guess. Okay, while I'm on stream, I'm going to be doing this. But the thing is, this kind of view looks much more stylish. And also, I low-key remember what things are at the top. So I just look at the top to this place to see the parent directory, and I'm like, oh, the previous one, like, oh yeah, this, oh, actually no, yeah, I actually do like this view. I'll write it for a bit, and I'll see whether I like it or not. Like here, I actually need to go inside to see what's in there, which is fine, that's how I used to do it. But it's a lot more movement for if I want to just see the insides. Like I'm going into a project. What controllers do we have? Home controller. Somebody that joined, by the way, I can still see chat even though it's not on my screen. Oh, what models are there? Object, we would never look at that. Properties, views, So we can immediately, just by going through things, figure out what things there are, instead of having to specifically go inside of each one of them. Of course, we can just go inside of one and then use square brackets to go between them, but it's still not as obvious as maybe my other directories. Like in dot files, I already know what folders are in programming, so I can use square brackets to go between them, right? That is not going to be the case for some random ass C# project. So I think using the default is still going to be better. However, I would like to change their width. No idea how to pronounce that, by the way. I want this to be at least twice as large, and this at least, I want it to be a third. Yeah. Preview isn't necessarily something that I care about that much, especially considering that Jesus Christ, why am I especially considering that you can press I to just view the preview, and there's probably some setting that is basically, don't show preview in this window, and only do it if you do it explicitly, which would be great. In that case, if I'm streaming, I won't randomly fucking show you my password. Which is, yeah, no, it's not fun. I was gonna say that, which is kind of fine, like, I'll just change it at the end of the stream. Well, you can just go into my account while I'm streaming, and that would be very annoying. Okay, so Miller is going to be the default still. It's very, very useful. How many columns are there, and what are their relative widths? Interesting way to specify it, to be fair. So I want this at least twice as large, and this as small as possible. So let's quit this and go into Ranger again. Yes, exactly. That's pretty much exactly what I want, but 2 is a bit too much. That's okay. So let's check out 1 again and see how that will look. Am I crazy, or is the previous one used to be smaller? Or does it work by percentages? Since the last one doesn't take up as much space, the 1 on the first column is now bigger. Because this is a bit better, unless I'm completely forgetting how it looked just now. Okay, let's change this to 2 and this to 2 as well. Yeah. Now let's see how that looks. Yeah. I do like this. However, what if we make this 4? So basically, now we can almost always see the whole path, and we can use I to actually look at the preview, and then we still see the more or less of what's inside. What if instead of 4, what if we make them like all the same? I don't know if that's like a good decision. I think, yeah, the first one at the very least looks the biggest. But it only looks that way because this is a file number, and then the size and all that together looks like it's more crammed than this, obviously, which is why it looks that way. Okay, what about 2? Yeah, this is probably the way to go. Find it interesting that it can't just preview the actual file. Strange. Yeah, I like this. Now the parent folders are a bit more visible. Oh yeah, this is actually much better. Pretty much everything used to collapse in a very annoying way that was hard to read, and this whole place used to take up a bit too much. Since I don't really care about previews that much, what I care about is seeing what files are in a folder, and then if I'm on a file, oh interesting, empty you say, I can open it. Oh, I guess I can't. Really? It couldn't fucking realize that JSON is supposed to be opened in NeoVim? That is so crazy. That's the one thing I don't like about Ranger, the fact that it's like hangs when I try to open a file. Maybe it's on me, like I'm supposed to configure it correctly. Yeah, so only sometimes does the preview actually work. For some things it's just not going to appear, and that's kind of strange. Which basically means that the preview is not like hugely important. Okay, but 1-to-1, love that. Which files should be hidden? Mm-hmm. Well, this no longer does anything because I show hidden files. Yeah. You can toggle this by typing ZH. As for confirmation when running the delete command, I think I've tried it actually. The delete command, and it hanged too, imagine? Or maybe that was the trash command. Yeah, probably that. Well, yeah. Not very good. Valid values are always never multiple. With multiple, Ranger will ask only if you delete multiple files at once. Use non-default path for file preview script. Ranger ships with scope.sh, a script that calls external programs to preview images, archives, and so on. I see, so you can have a different preview script. I don't know how it works enough to make my own, so now use the external preview script or display simple plain text or image previews. I see. That's exactly what I was looking for actually. So now if we go to dot files and this, it just shows plain text, which is exactly what I wanted. Well, now previews are a bit more useful, but I'm still fine with opening them like this. Pressing I is actually very okay. Huh. The usual controls you would use for going through in Vim, you use here as well. That's nice. Yeah, so I can see a bit of a file to see somewhat what it is, and then I can open it to be like, oh, I see. Yeah, I love this. That's great. What have we changed? So this we can stage as well as this. So change column ratio, I guess. Oh, let's actually go to dot files. GM. Change column ratio. Preview just shows plain text. The magical things I was trying to do prior isn't really useful, gonna be honest. It was kinda eh. Another person who joined, even though I don't have chat, on my screen I can still read chat, just so you know. Since I usually have chat on the right, this stream I decided to not. What I'm doing right now is going through configuration options for Ranger, which is this cool thing. And I've changed a few things already. For example, the ratio of this to this to this. And now I like how it looks a bit more. So, automatically count files in the directory even before entering them. Huh? Ah, I see. So do I care? Like, do I care to see how many files? I guess, yeah, if I see like a 0, that means that folder is unused. I guess that's useful. Huh. Open all images in this directory when running certain image viewers like fit or checks out. You can still open selected files by marking them. Not quite sure what that means. VCS aware. Yeah, please do. It may be quite a bit slower though. It takes quite some time for it to load things, and it still has yet to load dot files, even though that was like the first thing. Oh wow, that's cool. Plus, I imagine, is modified. It's a bit on the slower side for sure, but it's asynchronous. It like loads up once it needs to. Not sure what this home symbol means. Fuck's sake, I need to disable the mouse. That shit is so annoying. Yeah, basically I can see that, oh, I have modifications in rc.conf and also in fish. Oh, really? Seriously? Oh my god. I also need to disable the open file thing completely because it just doesn't work for me. Pretty much never. Right, so... But once again, it takes quite a bit of time. Where maybe... Like, I wouldn't be waiting here for it to appear, you know? But... Hold up. I know. So, what if we... exclamation mark, and then... You would think, right? GA for me converts into get add. But here it doesn't, because it's not an actual shell. It's not interactive. And therefore, typing all of this in is just kind of not worth it. And seeing how slow it is... Oh god damn it. I opened it again. Yeah, it's very slow. You know what, like, it's so slow that I don't think I even want that information, believe it or not. State of the 4 backends: get hg bzr svn. Okay. Truncate the long commit messages to this length when shown in the status bar. Use one of the supported image preview protocols. No. Set the preview image method. Just don't. A delay seconds. No. Manually adjust. Default iTerm 8 font size. Huh. Oh, that's, I guess, for images. Or how big they are. Use the Unicode blah 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 character to mark cutoff file names. I'm just gonna use the default on that one. Try to properly display file names in RTL languages. Nah. Show dot files in the bookmark preview box. What is that? Default jungle. Let's try out these. Okay. So like everything is the same color. Wow, so cool. Maybe it's just... Let's look at files. No, you can't fucking tell which one is which. That's so stupid. Snow, I'm probably not gonna like. Oh, yeah. I didn't think it's gonna be just white completely with nothing else. Ow, ew, eh. Jesus. Could they not have made, like, a good color scheme aside from the default one? God damn. I mean, snow very much should exist. Being able to remove colors from a terminal program is always a good thing. But goddamn. You know what? What if we false preview directories? Absolutely. But what if, let's go to some file. No, nice. So it shows what's in directories, but for files it's very clean. Having about this much space to see the inside of a file is not that useful, gonna be honest, but if you press I, you can still see it if you want to. Yeah, I like this more. Cool. Cool. What is... oh no, not KS, KD. Config. What did I change in config.fish? Oh, right. The environmental variable. I say environmental always instead of environment variable. Okay. Disable automatic preview files. Yeah, that's a good commit message. Disable automatic preview files. Okay. Set wrap plain text previews false. Wrap long lines in plain text previews. Yeah, obviously. Did it used to not? I guess it's gonna be a good while until I come across a preview. God, fuck! I opened it again. Jesus Christ. I'll need to disable that very fast. One wrong L press and you're done. And it just hangs. Save the console history on exit. I'm not gonna be using the console inside of there, I don't think. Draw the status bar on top of the browser window. Bottom makes sense for me. Draw a progress bar in the status bar which displays the average state of all currently running tasks which support progress bars. Sure. Draw borders around columns. Separators outline both or none. Separators are vertical lines between columns. Outline draws a box around all the columns. Box combines the two. Let's do separators and see how that looks, whether I like it or not. Okay, I big time like it actually. Wow. Yeah, this like clear separation I actually enjoy a lot. I doubt I'll like box more, but maybe I do. Wait, outline both or none. Oh, both. I love this even more actually, what the fuck? Yeah, this is cool. Okay. Oh, my bad. Draw both border. Dir name in tabs. Display the directory name in tabs. What do you mean? I guess I don't have tabs, right? Since this is the only tab, it doesn't show it, I guess. Unless I'm not seeing something. Alright. Absolute disable the mouse. Fuck the mouse. I was trying to show something and it just goes there. Do not do that. Display the file size in the main column or status bar. Yeah, I want it to just display in the status bar if it does. Like here. Where is that? I see. It is here. So I can, if I need to ever see the size, I'm like, oh, it's there. Well, hold up. Actually, the benefit of it is not that I like need to see how much a file takes up. Not really. It's more of a matter of getting a clear view of, oh, for example, this file is actually empty, I can delete it, or oh, this folder is empty, and so on. That's why it's useful. So I'll keep it. First of all, I disable mouse support. Display the free disk space in the status bar. No, it's such useless information. Okay, it's not useless, but like, why would I need it? Like, it's too much. Display files tags in all columns or only in the main column. What? Or what do you mean? Oh, in all columns. Files tags. Files tags. What does that mean? I don't know. Fair enough. Set a title for the window. No, don't. Set the Tmux screen window name to Ranger. I guess do your thing. I don't use Tmux. I don't think it's like even a thing on Windows. Shorten the title if it gets too long. This number defines how many directories are displayed at once. 0 turns off this feature. Hold up. Can I just make it show the current directory? No, hold up. What changed? Please tell me what changed. But it probably means if it gets too long, which it currently isn't. I guess it would need to be like mega long. Okay. What? How? Huh? Okay. Let's go to some huge project here, and then to Lumitron, and then to bean debug net runtimes Unix lib net core app. Yeah, I'm very unsure what this setting does then, because I expected this to like show at least 3 directories or something, but I guess no, that's not what it does. Fuck yeah, I wanted to disable this. It's so useless. It's so fucking useless. Yeah, this is cleaner. This is nicer. I like it. Oh, I see. This like shows the -L output of ls. That's cool. Being honest, what I would rather have instead of this is to have in the center the name of this current directory that I'm in. That would be perfect. That would be just amazing. Maybe, yeah, abbreviate home with in the title bar. Sure, do that. Do that. So first of all, remove host name from title bar. Host name from title bar. How many directory changes or console commands should be kept in history? Be the default. I don't use them really. Try to keep so much space between the top bottom border when scrolling. Huh? Flush the input after each key hit. Do it, I guess. Padding on the right when there is no preview. This allows you to click into the space to run the file. No, especially since this. Because anytime I try to run a file, Ranger just hangs indefinitely. So yeah, very much disable that. And now, it will show to the fullest. Yeah, this is nicer. This is definitely nicer. Fuck yeah. Okay. Remove right padding when on file. Save bookmarks used with MX and X instantly. What do you mean by that? This helps to synchronize bookmarks between multiple Ranger instances but leads to slight performance loss. On false, bookmarks are saved when Ranger is exited. No, that's... oh, when false you mean. I'm probably not gonna have multiple Ranger instances, and even if I do, I usually open it for one thing. Okay, so yeah, let's change this to false. I don't think I need that much synchronicity, especially since I don't have like one instance of Ranger from which I go into each place. No, instead I just open Ranger anytime I need a path. Save the bookmark to disk. This can be used to switch to the last directory by typing bibib. Sure, do that. You can display the real cumulative size of directories by using the command get cumulative size or typing DC. The size is expensive to calculate and will not be updated automatically. You can choose to update it automatically, though, by turning on this option. No, I don't need that information to be that precise. Turning this on makes sense for screen readers. Well, let's try it out. I think it's gonna be at the very least fun, you know? Okay, what is the cursor? I mean, alright, it's kind of cute, to be fair. But like, we already have the selection, so yeah, it's not useful for me. Set one off. Size, sort. Size, natural, base name, A time, C time, M time, type, and random. Natural, I guess. Additional sorting information. Sort reverse. I actually do want to do that. Let me show you why. Yes, and it works like I thought it would. So usually the first directory would be git and then VS Code and then fish. I will pretty much never go into these two directories, but I will very often go into this one. So having all the real directories first and the dot directories second makes a lot of sense, and same thing will go for dot files. They will be at the end, which will often make sense to do. So good option. Sort case insensitive. Sure. Sort directories first. Yeah, I noticed that, and it's actually very nice. Set sort Unicode. I don't think I care yet. So we reverse sort. A bit too simple of a commit message maybe, but I think that's fine. Enable this if key combination with the alt key don't work for you. whether to include bookmarks and cd command, I guess. Changes case sensitivity for the cd command type completion. Use fuzzy type completion with the cd command. That's cool, but like, why would I use cd ever? Like, I'm using a file manager like Ranger because I don't want to be typing in my paths. That's like the entire point now. So, avoid previewing files larger than this size in bytes. Use a value of 0 to disable this feature. No, anytime I preview files, I do it explicitly, so I obviously want them to work. The key hint lists up to this size have their sublists expanded. What? Otherwise, the submaps are replaced with that. Add the highlighted file to the path in the title bar. Yeah, that's actually kind of confusing, I'm gonna be honest. Yeah, this is better. Now I like can actually see the directory that I'm in, because if I do this, yeah. Oh, or I guess it shows us the path that we would have picked. That's fair. Then yeah, let's bring it back. The delay that Ranger idly waits for user input in milliseconds with a resolution of 100 milliseconds. Lower delay reduces lag between directory updates but increases CPU load. When the metadata manager module looks for metadata, it should only look for, I don't think that matters for me. Clear all existing filters when leaving a directory. Definitely not. So, hold up. This thing actually changed. It's I don't know, it's either relative or just false by default. I made them to relative. So now when I'm in a directory, you can see that, oh, at 8 there's this file, so you can press 8J just like in Vim to go there, which is so amazing. It's incredible. When line number is relative, show the absolute number in the current line. Oh, right. So if you set it to true, once again, let's look at this. Let's go 5 down. We see that the current line has 6, so this means this is the 6th file. You can turn this on to make this appear as 0 instead, to maybe be less confusing. But no. As you can see, I have the same thing in VS Code, so that's why I have it disabled. Start line numbers from 1 instead of 0. Obviously, I'm human. It's easier for me to count that way. I don't know why that's the default, so yeah, that's strange. Save tabs on exit. I don't have tabs. Enable scroll wrapping. Moving down while on the last item will wrap around to the top and vice versa. That's kind of cool. What the fuck? That's really cool, actually. I can just go up to go down. And also, this is fun. This is really fun. Yeah. So you can just go 3 up. Oh, that's cool. Yeah. I love that. Enable wrap around. Set the global inode type filter to nothing. What is a global inode type filter? I see. It's basically what you're looking for. Print file sizes in bytes instead of the default human readable format. Now I am a human. Warn at startup if ranger level environment variable is greater than 0. In other words, give a warning when you nest ranger in a subshell started by ranger. Interesting. You can set local options that only affect a single directory. So you can give different options for different directories. That's cool. Okay, so edit, quit, QA. So basically I'm looking to disable L and R. Filter, find, mark, unmark, search, travel. It has a lot of stuff. I find it interesting that this shows it as a comment. I guess conf files support semicolon as a comment. That's interesting. Let's try this out. I press S and it does shell. Okay, what's the difference between S and exclamation mark? I guess no difference then. Okay. Yeah, they're exactly the same. Okay. S is just much easier to press than what the fuck. I guess it may be a matter of habit for some people. I see. Yes, this we disable because fuck that. So let's try. Oh, seriously? And I pressed R accidentally. Okay. Let's say I go to 3 up. And I go to the end. Oh, I pressed L, not R. Mm-hmm. 11R, and it does nothing. Mwah, mwah. Great. And now to disable L from doing the same thing. Copy map. Oh, interesting. Okay, so right is move right 1. Map JK pages. I wonder if I even can just disable the opening behavior. Basically, right now, I'm looking for L. Whether there's a map for L, I can just straight up disable. Generate all the chmod bindings with some Python help. Okay. I don't care about chmod. Chmod is a very funny thing to say. Unmapped keys are passed directly to the console. I see what you mean. So right, console move right. Right is Control F. Interesting. Left is Control B. Pager, key bindings. Oh, you can even set them. Interesting. Move. It seems like no. There isn't like a single key binding that I could disable that I did with R. Chain draw possible commands, programs rather. Console open with. How do I make L open files but don't open files? You know? This is like annoying. Fuck, okay. Let's go to home, config, ranger, and I guess rifle. Rifle is what's being used here. Okay, another config file. If I decide to change anything, the first thing I'm gonna do is grab the file path and make a symlink to it, and then start configuring it in VS Code. So, this is a configuration file of rifle, ranger's file executor and opener, which I specifically don't want. Each line consists of conditions and a command. For each line, the conditions are checked, and if they are met, the respective command is run. If you use the special command ask, rifle will ask you what program to run. Prefixing a condition with exclamation mark will negate its result. These conditions are currently supported. Match, extension, mime, base name, path, meaning absolute, has in the path, interesting, environment, file, directory, change the number of this command to n, terminal, and x. Okay. There are pseudo conditions that have a side effect. Flag. Change how the program is run. Okay, well, before we go in any further, I do realize I'm probably going to be making changes to this file as well. So, symlink, yes, pl. So I can hold up. I can dd. Let's mark this at r is not taken. Let's go to programming dot files, correct, and paste it. And now I copy it, go back to there, and what is it? Symlink pl. As easy as that. Wow! Oh my god, that's so cool. Okay, but the thing is, we still need paths, which we can just copy. As easy as that. Ranger, fish, we copy -f this file to, actually, wait, no, not the line. But instead of RC, it's rifle. And then we link SF, yanking this, yanking then this, and here we go. Another symlink now available. Let's continue reading here, and we can change, or rather close all of that. There are also pseudo conditions that have a side effect. Change how the program is run. Assign a label or name to the command so it can be started with open with label in Ranger, or rifle-p in the standalone executable. Else, always true. Interesting. Root permissions, the new terminal. I don't want to be like, yeah, I'm not going to be using Ranger to open files. It's too like all over the place. Oh my god, I love vaping. If you're like, you know, I heard something ridiculous about mostly Americans. People like get to 21 years old and are like, time to start drinking. No, bro, you're already like old enough to be smarter to start drinking. Why are you starting at 21? Drinking, smoking, and other bullshit like that, you start at like 14 or something, because it's so damn exciting. Starting it at 21 is just counterproductive. Like, you already passed the test pretty much. Why start now? Rarely installed browsers get higher priority. Interesting. It is assumed that if you install a rare browser, you probably use it. That's cool. That's interesting. Firefox, blah blah blah, on the other hand, are often only installed as fallback browsers. It has a bunch of shit here. Can I just disable it? Like, overall? Rifle. Really? Open with? Really? Huh. What else is there? We have scope. If the option use previous script... Oh, scope is the previous script thing. Right. And I guess other stuff. Handle extension. Oh. I would need to create my own fold. Don't care then. Handle extension. Handle image. Handle mime. Okay, that's like not what I'm looking for. Commands full. Oh, that pi. So the only real configuration files are rifle and RC. But this is .py, which is not what I'm looking for. So basically what I want to do here is delete like everything. Well, not delete, just disable. Define the editor for text files as first action. Yeah. Yeah. These probably no. Because if I try to run a command, it just hangs and doesn't show me the output or nothing, and that's incredibly annoying. So yeah, no. Audio without X. So the only thing that will work, because it already does, is the editor thing. Documents. Yeah, because it expects you to use Linux, and I use WSL. So for me, a lot of things here just straight up won't work. And it expects you to use these things so much that it's not like even giving you an option to disable it, because, well, why would you? It's so useful. Why would you disable this? Well, if it worked, I would use it, probably. At the very least, to some extent. But it's not quite there. Fonts is probably fine, right? Oh, opening fonts, of course. Flag T, fallback terminals. Rarely insert terminal emulators get higher priority. It is assumed that if you install a rare terminal emulator, you probably use it. What? Hold up. What would even... What's the situation where you open something that ends up being opened in another terminal? I don't get it. Like, what would it be? Oh, that's if you give it a specific label, I see. Define the editor for non-text files and pager as last action. Define the editor for non-text files and pager as last action. Okay. Don't. Okay. Should be fixed now. Scared as fuck though. Did I just like fucked up something? Great. Great. That's amazing. And it hangs again? Bro! Really? Really? Oh my god. Jesus. This fucking program. Wow. Wow. So. Pager or editor. Do I have to like add all extensions? That's crazy. Can I like basically say open everything in new of them? Let's try this. What if I just yank this and replace here? Like, what about it? What will now happen if I try to open init.lua here? Okay, cool. So basically, define the editor for non-text files. So non-text, and that also don't have this extension, which is also considered text. So now everything is opened in new of M. Great. Move the file to trash using trash climb. Yeah, so this is fine. Gam disable auto open with. So now this will at least try to open every file in NeoVim, no matter what file it is. Like this, hold up, this it will open in NeoVim, this. What else we have? Bat. I guess I don't have anything here. It's still 3 bytes though, interesting. So the whole JF thing, I don't need it anymore because things are already opened in NeoVim. Huh. So typing in Ranger is the same as typing in JF now, except here I can actually go back and look at multiple files. So let's remove JF because I don't need it anymore. Travel JF, yeah, not needed. And in a similar fashion, we don't need JS, right? I guess unless I use JS here to open init.lua, I look at it, then I realize, oh, actually, I need to look at it quite a bit more. So, boop, it's now a command. In a similar fashion, JF would do the same thing. Because you first pick a file, and then you look at it. But the thing is, I very much like how you can look at multiple files, and then come back once you looked at them. That's like very nice. So I think JS even is unnecessary. This is faster though. No, I'm gonna leave JS so I can still use pick if I want to. And then, oh, I looked at this file. Yes, this is the correct one. Let's run it, for example, you know? And I just type in Ranger when I actually want to look at a few files, the file structure, and so on. Great. So I just removed JF. Gamp. Remove JF. Great. Okay. So what did I have in my tasks? Believe it or not, I actually started writing, like in text, my tasks in like on paper, which is crazy. Remove history related functions. I think I did that already, right? Let's glow. Remove. I did a lot of commits, didn't I? History functions, yeah, I did that. Okay, yeah, that's actually all I wanted to do. But let's also man Ranger and see what like hotkeys or mappings I guess we have. Let's look through them again to get better at them. We have capital H and capital L to move back and forward in history, and I actually want to try that. Let's say we're here, we then go to lib, And now, instead of going all the way somewhere, or specifically having to use a mark, I just go back in history or forward. Yeah, this is very useful. Very useful. Okay, what else do we have here? Half a page down and up, I already actively use. Go to top and bottom is very obvious. Move up and down in the parent directory, I do use. Reload everything. Okay, I guess. Could be useful potentially. If I could use Control R to remove the freezing it sometimes does. Freeze files is pretty cool. I've already tried that. It also has redraw the screen, which is different from restart everything. I wonder when that is useful, like really useful. Inspect the current file in a bigger window. Edit the current file in Visual, otherwise Editor, otherwise Vim. E, capital E. Well, it already does that when I press L, so it's just unnecessary. Capital S is what I started doing when I first discovered Ranger. And I guess that's usually how you use Ranger to begin with, but that's not how I like it. Opens this man page. Opens the log window, where you can review messages that pop up at the bottom. Opens the task window, we can view. I don't know if I'm going to be running tasks. I'm just going to be moving through directories, looking at files and file structure, rather than doing any substantial work in Ranger. I don't think it's the way to go about it, at least for me, because often what I do is GAMP, which turns into get add dot and get commit -a and get push. That's a lot to type in. Get add and then get commit -a and get push. Like, that's way too much. And I do this really often. So, I would much rather like cd into here, which doesn't work. Can I? No, it doesn't work. Okay. And I go to utils, yeah, go here, and then do my commands. You know? So, no. Stop the currently running background process, whatever. Permissions, I don't change them, like, at all. It's not something I do. And I think maybe, even if I did, I would have done it in the usual shell. But maybe not, maybe not. Yank the selection. Oh, right, I need to get used to using actual selections. Like, let's go to, I don't know, binaries. So a simple V marks everything. Doesn't select it, marks it. Which is... Oh, no. I guess... V... Okay, so selection and marking is the same thing. I see. Okay. And then we have capital V to start selecting. Selected what I want. U capital V to unselect. Okay, and then we can use YY to yank the selection. DD to cut it. PP to paste it. PO overwriting, which is really useful. PP and PO, but queues the operation so that it will be executed after any other operation. I don't necessarily care. Create symlinks, absolute or relative, to the copied files. So PL and P capital L for relative, in case that's needed. Create hard links to the copied files. The mnemonic is very simple. Paste hard link. PHT, duplicate the subdirectory tree of a copied directory. Then create hard links for each contained file into the new directory tree. Is that something that you do often? I don't know. The bookmarks, find the next file, right? Because you can search for them, find the previous file, all that is obvious. Whether or not I'm going to be using it is a different question though. Change the sort method. Change settings. See the settings section for a list of settings and their hotkey. Universal undo key. Navigate, mark a file. Oh right, you can also do this with space. So this and this and this. Oh, actually, boop. Yeah, space can sometimes be nicer to use. Interesting. What if we select this one? Yeah, it indeed toggles it specifically. So I select everything except these two, except this one, I guess. And then YV unselects all of it. Okay. Open the console. Open the console with the most recent command. That's useful, potentially, if I use the console in Ranger. Alts I don't care about, neither do I care about tabs. A keychain that allows you to quickly change the line mode of all the files in the current directory. Okay, what does this mean? Hold up, no, it's not what I wanted to do. Oh, line mode, file info, file name, file info, MI, file name, human readable time, interesting, M time to be more specific, meta title, M time. I mean, that's cool. Yeah, it's definitely cool. Permissions. Fuck, that's too much. And this is exactly why I use -G in my ls. Let's open another terminal. Yeah, I use LG because it only prints the nickname once. If instead of G, I used L, it would print it twice, which is just unnecessary. I guess this is the owner and this is the current user or something, not sure. I only have a single user, so it's very unnecessary to me. So capital M, P. So it doesn't toggle them. It only changes the mode to something. Size, human readable, end time. Oh, so you can even get them twice. That's cool, I guess. I don't necessarily need either. Well, I don't need the M time that often. Yeah, that's cool, right? But very cluttery. But interesting, quite interesting. Apply the type filter directory. Right, type filters are probably going to be very useful. And now I'm only going to see directories. That's for if I want to wait. I thought, didn't I say please do directory? Hold up, I remember that configuration in RC. Filter something. Hidden filters. Clear all existing filters when leaving a directory. No, right? Huh. That is mega strange. Show me the filter stack. Okay. Can I clear the filter stack? How do I clear the filter stack? Oh, C. So dot C clears the filter stack. Okay, dot D, show me only directories. Ah. Oh, I see. Filters applied only to the current directory. And then when you come back with the setting that we just looked at, they will stay. So it's per directory. I expected it to be per session. In that case, I think I want it to be true. Because imagine this situation. Yes, I open another Ranger. Imagine this situation. I go to Rustlings and I'm like, oh, I actually only need files here. What? Oh, yeah. I only need files here. I go to, I don't know, this file. I'm like, oh, I see. And I close Ranger. Then I come back. And this, I imagine how it would work, still shows only files. I'm like, wait, where are the folders? To make sure I'm not lying here, what is filter? False. To make sure I'm not lying here, let's check if that's how it actually works. So I go to Rustlings, filter off only files, great, quit, now Ranger, go to Rustlings again. No, that's not how it works. So it's per session. If it's per session, then I'm fine with it, I guess. Yeah, I think I am. However, yeah, it's fine. Okay. So only files, only directories. Okay, I see how to use them. Symlinks. Imagine like only symlinks. That's so interesting. Can I 3H? I can! This is actually big. This is mega big. This is huge. Humongous. Wait, that's not what I actually wanted. Yes, I wanted binaries. And here, let's clear them. I only want symlinks, and here I am. Lol. Okay, let's clear. I love this. You know what? After all, I only need filters once, and then I don't. So, I don't think it's necessary. Apply a new MIME type filter. Once again, I have no idea what that is. A new file name filter. You can search, interestingly. That's cool. Let's try this out. N brow. Okay, so it's a non-fuzzy but a port exact, so a contains filter. So if we go to the example of this, and I need to find some file like contour. Oh, it's key sensitive. That's pretty annoying. Okay. N, hold up. N contour. And here we go. We found a file. Now hold up! How useful is that really, considering that I can just find it? Okay, maybe it's useful eventually, who knows? A new hash filter, a new duplicate filter, a new unique filter. Combine all these stack things, but I don't think I'm gonna need that much like filtering. I doubt it. Maybe if I'm working with a lot of files, who knows? Rotate, right, clear, decompose, pop, and show the stack itself. Okay. I see. So those are pretty much all of the key bindings. And the useful ones I already learned to some degree. Yeah. Okay, so I can pretty confidently say that now I can use Ranger. Not to its fullest extent, but simply because the tools outside of Ranger I like more, pretty much. That's it. Yeah. Yeah, I'm done. I'm done. Goodbye.